It's me, Ari Dossett, and in the background of this video, you see a meme. Above, you see a picture that's gone viral on the internet. You see a man, likely the boyfriend or the husband, anyway, the partner of the female. And another one walks by and he openly checks out the other female while his partner is still next to him. And the partner is thinking, dude, what the heck? You're checking out another woman's behind right here? Well, this video is not about monogamy or polygamy or anything like that. I'm using this meme to teach you something else, something bigger. And as you see, they made an animated version of it based on Dragon Ball Z. Below you see Vegeta, who was the crown prince of a planet that was blown up. And you see Bulma, who's the richest woman on the earth. And then you have this other guy, a fighter, who's her partner, but Bulma suddenly sees the prince walking by and thinks, you know what, I'm better off with the prince. And in the cartoon, indeed, she dumped the other guy and she went with the prince. At least that's what the storyline suggests. Now, let's check this out. In both cases, these are just memes, all right? What does this show you? There is an individual who's out there looking for the next best thing. The guy above, clearly, he looks for the next excitement. The one below looks for the next best option. The guy above knows he has a wife or girlfriend next to him, but he thinks, hey, if I can check out, I can check out. So the cartoon character below is the one that's rich, and she thinks, hey, maybe I'm better off with this prince than with this guy up next to me. So suddenly, the guy next to her has no value. Now, I'm not going into the differences between males and females or when it comes to selecting partners. I'm not going into that right now. And because this double meme, I'm using it to teach you something bigger. But I have to explain the meme to you first. Now, what am I teaching you here? Society is just like this. Society is always looking for the next individual to use. Society only values you how you are today. Society doesn't value how you used to be. Society doesn't even value what you can be. That means your potential. Society only looks at what can we get out of you today. There's a saying from the United States, you are as good as you are today. So think about it. Let's say you have a job. You've been there for 20 years or maybe 25 years. You've been doing your job well. Suddenly there's new development in the market. And there are young people with college degrees who learned the new computer tricks. And now because the market is more focused on IT and computers, now you have been there for 25 years. But a college student who just finished studying IT has more knowledge about how IT works. You don't. Now, the company can pay for your education to learn IT, but because you're already older and you're already deep rooted in how things used to be, it's going to be harder for you to learn IT. So, what happens? The company will come up with some excuse to fire you or to give you another function that's below your payroll. And you think, oh, what's going on here? I've been loyal for 25 years. You may protest. But if you go to court with this, the judge will tell you, sir, you've been working there for 25 years. Correct. You contribute to the company a lot. That's correct. But, sir, in your contract, you're just an employee. Yes, you have a higher position as a manager and also as a supervisor eventually, but still you are an employee. You are not an investor in the company. You are not a partner of one of the owners. So that means they can remove you and replace you with someone else. And that's correct. What can you do about it? Or let's say now you're married, but now your wife has to face some of her issues she doesn't want to. Now she's unhappy. Now, if she's a responsible woman, she will go into therapy with you and she will work things out with you. But what if she thinks, you know what? I don't want to deal with myself. I don't want to face anything. What happens to all her issues? She's going to blame it on you. And guess what? Before you know it, she's complaining about you. And then you hear that she wants a divorce. And you think, what? And then you hear there's someone else. But you hear there's someone else after the divorce. Now, after the divorce, you suddenly hear there was someone else along, all along, since maybe months or maybe a year before she asked for a divorce. And what do you know? The people around you knew about it all along. But they didn't tell you anything because they didn't want to start in trouble. They want to mind their own business. So all those other people in your community that you've been loyal to, you behaved, you paid taxes, you obeyed the laws of the land, you were a loyal husband and a father, and the people around you knew your wife was cheating on you. They kept their mouth shut, they allowed it to continue, and eventually even stood back when your wife wanted to divorce you and go with another man. And now you need to pay child support. And now you look like the bad guy because you blame it all on you. And the community around you just allowed it to happen. You may think, hold on a minute. What about my loyalty to the community? Did they forgot all about that? They haven't forgotten all about that. But the thing is, society is a narcissist. Society is only focused on what can it get out of you now. 25 years ago, or maybe not 25 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, or whenever you married your ex-partner, you were younger, you were more vital, and the community benefited more from you. But now that you're a bit older, and now that your wife gets to bitch complain all the time, they don't want to be involved in your wife's bitching and complaining. They don't want to be part of it. But she's around. So to make your ex-wife shut up, they kept their mouth shut and allowed her to divorce you. Why? Because if she would have stayed with you, they would have witnessed you as a couple going down, and they'll be complicit also in her breaking you down mentally. Could they have intervened and called her to order? Absolutely. But they didn't want to be involved. So you were loyal to the community, but the community decided, okay, you're an option. Well, this society always does. You are an option, not a priority. And I want you to remember this, whether it's when it comes to work or when it comes to business or personal matters like a marriage or whatever, to society, you are always an option. You are an option they utilize at the moment. If another option comes by that they can utilize in their eyes much better than you're old news. You're discarded. That's how easy it is. Now, of course, they're not going to openly date you because that's going to look bad on them. But they'll come up with some excuse to date you. Sometimes people will date you in a polite way. But even when they do it in a polite way, it's still them dating you. There's no way around it. Sometimes when they can't date you easily, without making them look bad, they'll try to set you up or get rid of you the hard way. So understand this, society is only interested in what it can get out of you now. The public only cares about what it can get out of you right now. That's what it's about. You can be a migrant. You moved, let's say you were a refugee, and you moved to another country. You became an economic migrant eventually, and you built a new life in the host country. You've got the passport of that country. But now they find out that your family from your homeland, where you're originally from, was involved in some deep criminality. And now the public begins to cry out to send you back. But now you say, hold on a minute, I got the passport of this country now. I'm one of your citizens. But now they're considering revoking your citizenship. And they try to say, well, you weren't really honest about your background. The thing is, you were honest. You told everything when you arrived, saying that your relatives are involved in crime and they're after you. So this is how you became a refugee. You told everything, but here's the issue. The public in the host country where you got citizenship, they don't want you there. And because the local authorities don't want the public to lose their mind and explode, that's why they give in to the public and they take away your citizenship and they evict you. Now, as the host country, they have a right to withhold citizenship from wherever they want, if they can justify it. And if the public keeps complaining about you, there's one good reason to revoke your citizenship, because it concerns national safety. Why? Because if the public loses their mind, because you won't get away, what happens is that they begin to take it out on one another. That means it's going to be more danger in the country. And because the authorities want that, they will decide, you know what, let's take the lesser of two evils and revoke the citizenship of this former asylum seeker. Look, the only certainty, the only true certainty you have in this life is Christ. And Christ works out things for you. You walk by faith, you agree with Him, and He works this out for you. Of course, you do your part, absolutely. It's not meant for you to lay on your lazy ass and expecting to fall out of the sky. No, you do your thing. You go to work or you start your own business, you socialize with other people, you reflect on yourself, you learn where you need to learn. So you do your part. You're active in daily life. But it's not your activity that guarantees good outcomes. It's the Heavenly Father's power working through you and through your activity that guarantees good outcomes. So it's not you by your own strength guaranteeing good outcomes. That's why Jesus said, apart from me, you can do nothing. So serving the Heavenly Father, that's your only certainty in this lifetime. The public, or you can say society, they will only value you based on what they can get out of you now. They don't care if for 30, 40, maybe 50 years, you were a benefit onto them. Let's say you're 60 right now and dementia hits you. What happens? They'll put you in a nursing home. That's what they will do. Sometimes even your grandchildren or children will ditch you. Why? Because they have their own day lives to attend to, so you have to understand. But hold on a minute. For all those decades, you were working hard, paying taxes, doing everything for these people. And guess what? They ditch you when you don't benefit them anymore. A lot of people get hurt. A lot of people lose their minds, or even become suicidal when they're ditched by society. But let me tell you, society will ditch you sooner or later. I don't care if you are the king on the throne. I don't care if you are the president or maybe you're one of the Rockefellers. Whoever you are, maybe if you're the Pope, that's an exemption. Okay? But apart from the Pope, society will ditch anyone when they don't see them as useful anymore to their daily ease. So that's why I told you, society is not something you should be part of. You should be part of a healthy community. Being part of healthy communities is a good thing. But society, this fear construct that adults hold on to, leave it alone. Society is what the Bible calls the world. And we're told not to be part of the world. We're in the world, but not part of it. Well, what the Bible calls the world, as I mentioned before, is what we call society. So, if the Bible warned us not to be part of the world or what we call society, why are we still striving to be part of it? We shouldn't. Look, you could be a businessman that provided jobs for many people. Let's say one day one of your former secretaries files a lawsuit against you for sexual harassment. And let's say now that the public decides to believe this woman, even though there's zero proof you were even in contact with her. Now, guess what? Your reputation is harmed. And because of that, a lot of people associate you with sexual violence. So what happens now? Many of your investors and clients, they break ties with you. Why? Because they don't want their reputation to be polluted by being associated with you. And suddenly your business goes bankrupt, or your investor decides to buy you out. That's an option in business. If you are joint partners together in a business and you want to move on with the business without someone, you can go to a court and you can file a lawsuit and you can buy the other individual out. So you can evict someone from their own business that they've started. Once you become a partner with someone, they get the opportunity and the legal right to, in certain conditions, to evict you from your own company that you built up. So now you've been this businessman, you provided jobs for many people, many families benefited from your activities, but now this narcissistic female just wants attention and lies on you, and because the public gets along with it, suddenly you are either bought out of your own business or your business goes bankrupt and now you become homeless, or you may even face prison time. You see how far this goes? Society will only value you based on the revenue they can get out of you today. But Rashid, what about young people? Now, I already told you, young people have decades ahead of them that society can exploit them. So that's why today society love bombs them. And because they're love bombed today, they fall for the false promises of society. So even then, yet society sees this potential in exploiting these young people. And that's why they start exploitation today. Because when they start exploitation today, the young people get used to it without realizing being exploited. So that society is guaranteed in the future for at least a few decades, we got these people. That's how it goes. Look, I'm saying it as it is. You're only good as you are today. That's how society operates. So I don't care whether it's your family or so-called friends or the business you work at or the local community in general. That's how society operates. You're as good as you are today. They won't tell you this into your face, because if they would tell you this into your face, you wouldn't want to be involved with them and they wouldn't be able to exploit you and get something out of you. But that's how it works. So do not fall for the love bombing of society. And that's why when you reach a certain age, society loses interest in you. Because think about it. If you're 15 and they talk about working, for example, for Microsoft or NASA or working for some big corporation, you think, when I finish high school, I want to go to college and work over there. Well, let's say you're 20 right now or 21 and you just got your master's degree. You may think, I got 5 job offers. I'm going to choose the best one. You don't really look ahead because you think, hey, I can finally earn my own money, have my own paycheck. With this paycheck, I can even get my mortgage, I get my own house. You see all the beautiful opportunities and possibilities you have. Let's say you're age 30. Because you're age 30, you've been through certain things already in life. You already seen more in life. And because of that, your brain operates a, a bit different. And because your brain operates in a more mature way, if you get job offers, you then think, okay, I have to work 40 hours. That means I'm exhausted most of the time. So yes, I earn a lot of money, but I'm exhausted all the time. If I'm exhausted all the time, it means I can't function well at work. That means they have a leverage over me to tell me they can fire me anytime. So I'll be walking eggshells for the next years or decades because I'm almost exhausted. This may not be a good idea. So you get what I'm saying? It's difficult to love bomb you once you reach a certain age. For most people, that's 25, for others, it's 30. But for most people, between age 25 and 30, society loses interest in them because it's not that easy to love of someone beyond age 25. Some people till age 30, they're still gullible. But in general, from age 25 and onwards, most people are not that gullible anymore. Even naive people see through things after age 25. I'm not saying that people before age 25 never see through things. That's possible. But in general, till age 25, most people are quite gullible to the love bombing of society. After that age, they tend to see things more clearly. So if you don't get many offers in life anymore, or if you're applying for many jobs and you keep getting declined, it can also be that the place you're applying for, they have a hidden agenda, and they know very well that with your age and your experience in life, you will not put up with it. That's why they go for younger people that they can trick into it. Simple as that. Look, there are good people out there. Not everyone out there is a narcissist trying to exploit you. I'm just saying that this construct called society is a narcissist. So don't expect better from society. So your only security is Christ. Operate in healthy communities or connect with healthy communities, but don't be part of the world. Don't be unequally yoked with unbelievers. But sit for now, keep on agreeing with Christ and be at peace.